A beach contains 57 trillion grains of sand. Whew, that was a long weekend in Whitley Bay. Yes, it's only Connect time, and we're saying hello again to two teams who lost their opening heats and are now in the second chance saloon. They are, on my right, Paul Jackson, a former church pastor who makes his own blueberry jam and vodka. Joe Beattie, an English graduate who has enjoyed dinner at R2-D2's home. And their captain, Paul Richardson, a retired fire officer who burnt a carpet during a fire safety demonstration at a mother and toddler group. United by a longing for Lancashire, they are the Hotpots. Now, you lost your opening heat to the Poptimists. Tell me about that heat.
Well, we were blitzed in the missing valves round, but we got more than 0, so it's all good.
Excellent. Tonight, you'll be attempting to score more than 0 against, on my left, Adam Robertson, a history graduate who had his finger broken by a 6-year-old. James France, a keen cyclist who crashed his bike into a barbed wire fence next door to a bike shop. And their captain, George Twigg, an English graduate who can name all 32 teams in the France '98 World Cup and the groups into which they were drawn in under 15 seconds. Well, that's a mercy. All graduates of Durham University, they are the Durhamites. Now, you lost your match to the Larpers. How are you feeling ahead of tonight's game?
Well, we lost to a crew of live-action role players, so we decided this time we would role play as a better Only Connect team.
Good luck with that. You were all fantastic in your opening heat, so good luck tonight. Hotpots, you won the toss, but you've elected to put your opponents in first. So, Durhamites, please choose a hieroglyph.
Water, please.
Water. What is the connection between these apparently random clues? Here's the first.
It's Virginia. Is that most presidents?
Maybe, yeah.
How many presidents have hands?
I'm not sure. Should we go for this? Next.
The house.
Oh,
She was the baby of the house where she used to be. Should we one more?
Yeah.
Mother. I think mother. Oh,
Virginia is mother of presidents.
is that? Are you sure?
Let's go for another one. Let's have another one.
Next.
Yeah.
They are all mothers of the thing above them.
You knew it after 2 clues. It is the mother of. You didn't need to see the last one. Necessity is the mother of invention. Well done. What can you tell me about those earlier clues?
Harriet Harman is the mother that has the most senior female MP.
The longest continually serving
yeah.
female MP, that's right.
Virginia is the mother of presidents
And why is that?
because it's had a lot of early presidents of the US came from Virginia.
Yes, more presidents have come from Virginia than any other state. Do you know how many?
8.
It is 8. 8 presidents from Virginia. I've actually got a list of them here. Do you want to have a go?
Jefferson.
Yep.
Adams.
No, and that's unlucky
neither
there
of
because there's 2 of them, neither of them. Washington, Madison, Monroe, Harrison, Tyler, Taylor, Wilson. They are all from Virginia. Ohio is second with 7. Very well done for 2 points. Hotpots, what would you like?
Horned Viper, please.
Horned Viper. OK. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Next, please.
TV, ID. So it can be abbreviated to 2 letters. But I would go next. I would go next.
Next, please.
Intravenous.
All those words can be known by 2 initials.
For example?
TV, ID, IV.
That's right, the last one, Headquarters HQ. You also, I think, knew it after 2 clues, but you waited for a third one.
Yeah.
No gamblers there?
Not at the moment.
No way.
No? Very good quizzing, though, from both teams. If you'd done this in your opening heats, you wouldn't be in this pickle. Very good quizzing. They can be shortened to 2 letters each. Back to you, Durhamites, for a choice.
Lion, please.
Lion. OK, what is the connection between these apparently random clues? Here's the first.
Is that Mr. Rogers' neighbourhood?
I've got no idea.
Sure.
Next.
James.
No idea.
No.
Next.
No.
Next.
Vehemently. It's like violently, something like that. It's got to be something to do with the 4 names. I'm just trying to think of...
2 seconds.
Are these all characters in Frasier?
They are not all characters in Frasier, although it's a nice guess. Hotpots, do you know?
No, we don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm disappointed. Let me tell you their full names. Mr. Norville Rogers, Mr. Fred Jones, Miss Daphne Blake, Miss Velma Dinkley.
Scooby-Doo.
They are the characters in Scooby-Doo. Yes, their van was always breaking down near a haunted house, or not so haunted. I'm surprised that you've seen it, because you seemed so far away from it, and then you went, oh...
Yeah, Velma Dinkley was the one that I knew. Like, once I heard that, so OK, of course it is.
Yeah.
Once voted the 5th best cartoon of all time, Scooby-Doo. I don't remember what the other 4... I remember what was first. What do you think was first?
Flintstones?
No. I think
Simpsons.
Simpsons. I think the Flintstones was second and the Simpsons was first. 5th best cartoon of all time, Scooby-Doo, and this is Scooby-Doo's 4 human companions that nobody spotted. Good luck finding the ghost caretaker if you can't even name the companions, my goodness. No bonus points for you, Hotpots. What would you like as a question?
Could have twisted flax, please?
Yes, you absolutely may. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Next, please.
Yeah, he did, but he didn't do it in 1985.
No, but that's when he won the Ashes series.
Next, please.
This must be Land's End.
Land's End to John O'Groats.
Is the right answer. You didn't need to see the last clue. Would you recognise that, the last clue?
Yeah, that's a cycling one.
Yeah, it's sort of slang, L.E.,
Yeah.
Land's End, John O'Groats, Le Jog. Yes, what can you tell me about that first clue?
That's when Ian Botham did his charity walk.
That's exactly right.
I think that's the length of the distance.
Yes, if you follow the... I think as the crow flies, about 600 miles, but the distance, if you walk it, that's right.
The third one is the two postcodes.
That's right, the
And obviously
postcodes.
the cycling one for the last one.
Was it your team that had a question in your heat about somebody that walked from Land's End to John O'Groats
The Naked Rambler, yeah.
The Naked Rambler, that's right. And we didn't know quite how long he took to get there, but he paused a few times to have a couple of months in prison. Imagine being so desperate to walk naked from Land's End to John O'Groats, you'll go to prison for a long time. What do you think he wears in prison? It doesn't bear thinking about. Doesn't bear thinking about. Well done. Land's End to John O'Groats is the connection. Back to you, Durhamites, for a choice.
Eye of Horse, please.
The Eye of Horus. Ooh, it's the music question. What connects the clues you're going to hear? The first one is coming in now.
I've never been inside you, but you're so worth your ring.
Nice, this.
Not at all.
Next.
Do that a bit.
Next.
You're the kind of person that believes in making out once, love them and leave them fast. Guess I must be done.
Next.
Your sleep as a thoroughbred.
Your seats are a featherbed.
You'll turn everybody's head today.
We'll glide on a motor trip with pride.
3 seconds.
The envy.
Are these songs about cars?
They are songs about cars.
Done.
What did we hear?
I'll be honest, that was a complete guess.
Did you recognise any of them?
No.
Seriously?
Yeah, honestly.
OK. What, did you recognise any of them?
Chitty Bang Bang.
Yes.
Little Red Corvette.
Yeah.
No, not the other two.
Second one was Brand New Cadillac. It was a cover for The Clash on London Calling, not original. The first one, 500, by Lush, about the Fiat 500. They're all love songs to cars. Did you literally hear the word hooter or something?
No.
You've just, from nowhere. Were you thinking about cars anyway?
No, rarely.
Who knows how the mind works? Something in your lateral mind found that from nowhere. You are going to get the points. They are love songs to cars. Well done. Hotpots, you'll get the last question of the round. The 2 reads. These are going to be picture clues. What connects them? Here's the first.
Next, please.
Yeah, go on.
Next, please.
Go next. Go
Next, please.
Come on.
They're all anagrams.
Of each other.
So, lager, large, and we don't really know the other two.
They're all anagrams of
Each other.
each other.
Sorry, yeah.
That's exactly right. Yes, I heard you muttering cannon about that last one. That's not cannon and ball.
No, it's little and large.
It's little and large, of course. Large, lager. Who do you think the other one might be? Elgar. That's Edward Elgar, clue 2. And clue 1? Glare. It's the glare of the sun.
Yeah.
Glare, Elgar, lager, large. They are anagrams of each other. Very well spotted. That means at the end of round 1, the Durhamites have 3 points, the Hotpots have 5. Round 2, the sequences round. What comes fourth in a sequence? That's what I'll be asking the teams. And Durhamites, you're going first again. Which question would you like?
Water, please.
Water. OK, I'm going to see the first in a sequence. What comes fourth? Time starts now.
Okay, carrot. That's spelled as in. No, is it A-R-A-T, though? Next. Okay, so that's a little sign, you know what that looks like.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be something to do with the directions. Should we go for the green one?
Yeah, OK. We need to get to the next one. Then.
Next.
So it's
Okay, so it's going round.
Smaller than it. Yeah, so it'd be less than.
Less than.
Is an acceptable answer. Well done. What's the sequence?
It's a little sort of V, but it's rotating 90 degrees each time.
Yes, that's right. The carrot goes like that. It's a little mark in grammar, and they're going round clockwise each time, and we want something that would be facing the other way, and less than is perfect. Hotpots, what would you like?
Twisted flax, please.
The twisted flax. OK, this is going to be a picture sequence. What would you expect to see in the fourth picture? First one coming in now.
Next, please.
What's the ring?
The computer HAL in 2001 Space Odyssey.
That's exactly what we've got a clue for, and why.
The first is a picture of Halley's Comet. Take off the Y, that's Halle Berry. Take off the E, Hall, and take off the L, Hal.
That's exactly right, starting with Halley's Comet from the Bio Tapestry, and we're taking bits off the end each time. Well done. Durhamites, what would you like for your own question?
Lion, please.
Lion. OK, what would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Panama and Madagascar.
Are they Antipodes? Are they Antipodes?
Yes. Yeah, what would the sequence be, though? Next. Argentina. OK, so I think you're going... Oh, hang on, the direction goes. If you travel west from Madagascar, you get to Argentina, but...
No, that can't make sense.
Oh, OK, so... No, it's country, so... what's something beginning with N-A? Country. Next.
Nauru, Russia.
Nauru, Russia.
Is the right answer. And what's the sequence?
OK, so the top country's last 2 letters are the first 2 letters of the country below it.
That's right. The key is not a geography question. It's about the letters. It's a chain. And what's funny about it is, once you start with Panama and Madagascar, it can only be these answers. People will be thinking, oh, what if you had Armenia? Well, that's no good, because then you need a country that would begin IA. So the same way you couldn't have Namibia at clue 3. It could only be that. I suppose unless you said Romania. I suppose some people can spell Romania with an RU. But basically, once the first clue has come in, there's only one chain that leads verbally to Nauru, Russia. Well done. Back to you, Hotpots, for a choice.
2 reads, please.
2 reads. OK. What would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Next, please.
Yeah, come on,
Next.
So coming up, you've got to say something.
2 seconds.
S, AP, LGBT.
And why would that be?
Complete guess.
I'm afraid you've not persuaded me that that's a sequence, and it's not the one we've got. Durhamites, do you know?
SE-AP-LG-BT.
And why would that be?
It's another guess.
I see. Well, I suppose you got the cars one. No. The answer is CRH-AP-LG-BT. I really like this. I think at least some of you will be kicking yourselves. They represent the initials of people who sit in those positions. Bruno Tonioli, Len Goodman, Arlene Phillips, Craig Revel Horwood. It's the original lineup of judges on Strictly Come Dancing. And, of course, the middle two judges have changed a bit, but if you came in at clue 1, you'd still have CRH, because Craig and Bruno still sit in those seats. Any of you watch Strictly Come Dancing?
Never.
You've never seen it?
No.
But it comes up in so many quiz questions, if nothing else. Never see anyone over there?
Guilty pleasure.
Yes, there's no reason for it to be guilty. It's an absolutely great show. Who's your favourite judge?
I quite like Darcy Bussell.
Oh, she's lovely,
She's
isn't
nice.
she?
Yeah, she's nice.
I miss Len, though. She got a bit crotchety in the later shows,
In the
right? Rather
end,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Steady in influence, Len.
Exactly.
Steady.
We all get crotchety in the end. We all do. I bet some people got that at home. It's nice, isn't it, when the teams don't get it and you do? Back to you, Durhamites, for a choice.
Horned Viper, please.
OK, what would come forth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Yeah.
Level 42 as well, the band.
Let's go.
Next. Okay, so it's... both got 5 letters. What the... I do know it. It's something with 45.
So please carry on. It's not 45. We need more. Go for that.
No, we don't. It's something with 45 in the end.
What's the link?
It's the number level 42 and 43.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so...
I don't know.
DT45.
Why do you say that?
Well, because level 42 is a band, movie 43 is a appalling piece of hogwash masquerading as a film, and then something 44, and then DT45 is what some people online call Donald Trump because he's the 45th president.
OK, we'll take that sequence. This is very much not the sequence that we had in mind, because we were looking to put something before those words, the much simpler sequence, A-level, B-movie. Clue 3 was section for C-section, although you could have section 44, couldn't you? Section 44 of a contract or of the Terrorism Act, I think. So it would still follow. So DT45, I'll take it. Well done. Unlucky there, Hotpots. They caught me when I'd eaten, so they'll have the point. Well done. You do, however, Hotpots, get the last question of the round, the Eye of Horus. It's coming up now. What would be the fourth in the sequence? Here's the first clue.
Next, please.
Is it 210? Is it? Yeah, go next. Go on.
Next, please. Six equals HH.
And why would that be?
It's a sequence in terms of probability relating to coin tosses.
Not tight enough, I'm afraid. I think there are too many variables of heads and tails that could be there. Not persuaded on that one, I'm sorry. So, Durhamites, you've got the chance for bonus.
6 equals HI.
And why would that be?
See, we thought it might be something about the serifs at the words, but then looking at the T, it's actually got 3, H has got 4. So we thought, because it works for 3 equals T, because there's 3 little points at the end, 4 TT. We thought they were sort of joined together, but
Not
clearly
it.
that's not the answer.
Not it. The answer, surprisingly, is 6 equals M. And this is to do with powers. It's the number of zeros in powers of 10. So 10 to the power of 3 is 1,000, to the power of 4, 10,000, to the power of 5, 100,000, and 10 to the power of 6, 1,000,000. M for 1,000,000 would be it. So no points there. That means at the end of round 2, the Hotpots have 8 points, the Durhamites have 10. Time for the connecting wall now, and Hotpots, it's your turn to go first. Would you like lion or water?
Water, please.
OK, you have 2.5 minutes to solve the water wall, starting now.
There's a flag. Crossword puzzle.
Right, Vince Lombardi is a cyclist.
No, it's a trophy. It's a trophy.
Oh, is it?
It's the. That's a trophy.
If we're talking Vince.
No, Vince Lombardi, Vince Vaughan.
Vince Vaughan.
Vince Cable.
Vince. Penguin. Okay, we'll pot. No, okay. Vince Neil. That's good. Vince Lombardi. What's the other one?
Vince Vaughan. Right, so hold on, let's
Okay,
have a
yeah.
look. Let's have a look.
Barcode.
Bumper sticker.
Sticker. Club trio of biscuits. Penguin's a
And a
biscuit. Nice
yeah.
is. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, right.
Just
Okay,
don't dive in.
Jolly Roger. That's a flag. Powder compact. No. Panda. Safety
Look
message.
for words in them. Bump.
Compact. Crossword.
That's an agreement, isn't it?
Vintage.
Or a
Vintage Cora. Jolly Roger. Flag.
safety
Hang on,
flag.
that's black and white. That's black and white. That's black and white. That's black and white. Shall we
Yeah.
have a go at that
Yeah.
first? I got
Right, so
one,
what's-
1, 2,
Panda,
3. So we've got vintage,
crossword.
compact, safety, and bumper.
Sticker notice.
vintage car, compact
You just
car.
keep it-
Bumper car,
bumper
safety car, compact car,
yeah,
vintage car,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah, so
they're all
crossword.
cars.
That's it, you've solved them all. Very well done. So that's 4 points for the groups. And what about the connections? Tell me about the first blue group, starting Neil.
They're all Vinces.
Yes, they are. Who are those Vinces?
Vince Cable is the Lib Dem politician. Vince Vaughan, I think, is an actor. Vince Lombardi.
Was an NFL coach.
That's right.
Vince Neil,
idea
don't
who
know.
Vince Neil is.
Lead singer of Motley Crue, apparently. All Vinces. What about the green group, starting Nice or Nice?
All biscuits.
All different types of biscuits. And the next one, Jolly Roger, crossword, barcode, panda.
Things that are black and white.
They're all black and white. And the last group, compact, safety, vintage, bumper.
They all are
You can put the word
car
car
afterwards.
afterwards.
That's right, you spotted that at the end there. All can be followed by car. So that's 4 more points for the connections and the bonus. It's the maximum of 10 points. Very well done. Let's bring in the Durhamites now, give them the other connecting wall and see how they get on with solving it. You have got 2.5 minutes to solve your wall, starting now.
Okay, so Richie Benno, cricket commentators, Benno, Blofeld, Gower, Arlott, or who else is Agnew as well, so...
Yeah, let's do that. So 5. We have villains, so
So Moriarty, Hook, Captain... No, not Captain, he's not Captain, what we're talking about.
Blofeld.
Okay, so let's do the cricket commentators without Blofeld.
Yeah.
No, okay.
So we have Benno.
Okay, let's just think of... capes.
Okay.
Cape Cod. Cinco, I think, is one.
Gower.
Gower.
No, it's Peninsula.
It's Peninsula.
Trapka Peninsula, Cape
Yeah.
Cod Peninsula, and
Dingle. Very good. Okay. So back to cricket commentators.
So it's fishing, reel, hook, line, bait.
Oh, well, hook, line, sinker you've got as well. Okay, let's just... Which ones have we? Yes,
Okay,
there you
good.
go. Okay, now cricket commentators. So, hang on. So Agnew, Arlott, Blofeld, and Benno.
Has to be.
Yeah. So yeah. Wait.
So
let's take a bit of time to think
yeah,
what
yeah,
these
yeah.
are. Yeah. Greenback is a slang for. Are they just villains like Moriarty, Hook?
yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything more specific than that though?
No, I can't think what Norcross would be.
No, neither can I. But Hook wasn't a Holmes villain, so Moriarty wasn't a pirate. So should we go for those 4? Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Oh, no. Okay. Blofeld is a villain. So how about Norcross as a commentator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it, you've solved the wall. Very well done. What about the connections? Tell me about the first blue group, starting Dingle.
That's Peninsulas.
They're peninsulas. Where are they?
Kamchatka's in Russia, Gower's in Wales, Cape Cod's in Massachusetts, and Dingle's in... I don't know.
Ireland.
In Ireland. They're all peninsulas. And what about the next group, starting Reel?
They're to do with fishing.
Fishing
or
line.
things that you would use to fish with.
Fishing equipment.
Yeah.
Tackle, some people
Tackle.
would say. Fishing tackle. And the next group, Benno, Norcross, Agnew, and so on.
Cricket commentators?
Yes, you don't know Dan Norcross.
No.
My
No,
old
wasn't
friend
quite sure.
Dan Norcross, he's been on this show. He was in the pilot of Only Connect back in the day, and then he came back with the team. Very good quizzer. And what about the last group? Blofeld, Moriarty, Greenback, Hook.
So famous villains or nemesis in fiction.
They are nemeses. I think that's the key. They're in a dynamic with a particular hero. Who are the heroes?
So Ernst Stavro, Blofeld, James Bond, Moriarty, Sherlock Holmes. Greenback, I'm not sure of, and Captain Hook from Treasure Island. Peter Pan, is it? OK.
Greenback is the enemy of Danger Mouse.
Oh, OK,
Greenback.
that'll explain why I don't know it.
They are all nemeses of particular heroes. So you get all the points for the connections and the bonus. That's a maximum of 10. Let's have a look at the overall scores. The Hotpots have 18 points. The Durhamites have 20. So it's very close as we go into round 4, and there are no more second chances. Whoever loses tonight is going home. So be careful, teams. Good luck. Fingers on buzzers. I can tell you that the first group of missing vowels clues are all phrases featuring names. Durhamites?
Happy as Larry.
Correct. Hotpots?
Bob's your uncle.
Correct. Durhamites?
Peeping Tom.
Correct. Hotpots?
For Pete's sake.
Correct. Next category, dangerous holiday pursuits. Durhamites?
Whitewater rafting.
Correct. Durhamites?
Running with the bulls.
Not it, I'm afraid you lose a point. Hotpots, do you know?
Running with bulls.
Yes, you'd need an extra TH for yours. Next clue. Hotpots?
Canoeing.
Not the answer, I'm afraid you lose a point. Durhamites, do you know?
Canyoning.
That's right. Next clue. Durhamites?
Cave diving.
Correct. Next category, people whose surname starts with their first name. Durhamites?
Chris Christopherson.
Correct. Durhamites?
Baden-Powell.
Yes, it is. Durhamites?
Boutros Ghali.
Correct. Durhamites?
Mo Molan.
Well done. Next category, recent additions to the Consumer Prices Index basket. Durhamites?
Cycling helmet.
Yes, it is. This one is non-dairy milk drink. Yum, yum. Next clue. Don't know that one either, but it was child scooter, and that's the end of the quiz. And I can tell you that after a nice evening's quizzing, the Hotpots finish with 20, but the winners with 29 are the Durhamites. Very well done. Good round 4 from you. And Hotpots, I'm afraid we're saying goodbye. Thanks so much for playing. You've been a lovely team. Thanks for coming to Cardiff.
Thank you.
And Durhamites will be seeing you again later in the competition. Thanks for watching. Join me next time for another episode of the quiz that's more difficult than unsubscribing from a network invitation on LinkedIn. Goodbye.